50 league executives and coaches ranked their top running backs for the 2021 season, and Ezekiel Elliott came in the 7th spot. But it's one quote from an anonymous coach that's sticking out right now. An AFC defensive coach said the Cowboys should, quote, give Zeke some of Dak's money. He scares you the most on that offense. So, Shannon, is there any truth to this?
Hell nah, this dude drunk. I don't know who the hell that is.
Come on.
Get Zeke some money for what? Zeke got his money. Zeke ain't getting none of his money to Dak. Skip, this is not the same offense when Zeke was the primary focal point of the offense. They've morphed into a passing offense. That's why they took C.D. Lamb. They told you when they they go out there with Gallup, C.D. Lamb, and Amari Cooper with one back, they ain't trying to run it. They throwing the ball.
Yep.
So this is why you don't pay Dak Prescott the second highest, make him the second highest paid running quarterback to turn around and hand the ball up to Zeke 30 times a game. Zeke is not the guy his first 3 years. Maybe a lot of that has to do with the offense, but it's a lot of wear and tear that Zeke's body has undertaken.
I agree.
Through those years.
Yep.
So, but to give Dak, to give Zeke some of my money, I wish Skip, I don't even know what defense, who said that.
I don't either.
But he need his head checked.
I was blindsided and dumbfounded by this quote last night, and it reminded me once again, there are a lot of not-so-smart coaches and GMs in this league.
If he believes that.
And you can argue that Jerry Jones was not so smart to give Zeke what still remains the biggest contract any running back has in this league. He still has it right now.
Well, he's second behind McCaffrey now.
But no, I'm talking total money.
Okay,
total money, he's still ahead of even McCaffrey.
Yes.
McCaffrey has it on annual. I got that.
Yes.
But since he signed that deal in 2019, Zeke has 7 rushes of 20-plus yards. He has 0 of 40-plus, which means on their listing, that their ranking, he's by far in explosive plays, he's at the bottom of the list. And I've given you this stat 1,000 times, and it haunts me more than any of my Dallas Cowboys stats. Zeke's yards per game from rookie year, 119 a game. I'm sorry, 109 a game. That'll work.
Right.
You know, that's like league leading.
Yes.
And then he led it again the next year, 98 a game. Then it fell to 96 a game. I'm still okay with that.
Yes.
Then he got his deal. Fell to 85 a game. Last year to 65 yards a game. Shell of self. I can't even recognize him. I don't think he's been in the greatest shape. Now, Dak is touting that he's in the best shape of his life. Well, he better be, because I don't think we're ever going to see that rookie year, second year, third year Zeke.
I don't believe so either, Skip. And what have we seen through the history of running backs, that once they start to go down, they never bounce back up. So I don't.
Who has ever had a bounce back? Maybe Adrian Peterson, because he's the ultimate workout warrior.
Right.
Wasn't he always in the greatest shape of his life?
But normally, AP didn't really have AP would have a down year because he missed 12 games.
Yeah, right.
And then he picked like, okay, that's AP. But AP didn't have a year where he played in his prime, where he played the whole season. And you're like, well, damn, what happened to AP? And then he come back. That wasn't him. He was always 14, 15, 16, 100 yards every year.
Okay, I get it that a defensive coordinator the night before they play next year's Cowboys, they're a little fearful. Uh-oh, I hope he doesn't break back out against us, because he's capable. You've seen it, but you haven't seen it for 2 years. Right?
And I don't know if he's going to get the touches. Skip, this is not what this offense is now. This is a Dak offense now.
And watch how many touches little Tony Pollard's going to get.
So you back to Tony Pollard and Zeke.
There we go.
I'm so excited to watch them on Hard Knocks. So we're going to be all over every player, every character. And yes, plenty of Jerry as well. Okay, will Giannis extend his streak of 40 points to 3 games tonight? That's next. Shannon, how big of a problem do you have with this?
I got a big problem. I disagree. I believe Brady have the more dominant team, but I believe Mahomes is the more dominant player. Mahomes is a better quarterback. He's the highest rated quarterback over the last 3 seasons. He had the second best raw quarterback numbers last year behind Rodgers. Brady had the 9th best quarterback raw numbers behind Tannehill, Fitzpatrick, Breeze, Lamar, and Herbert. Mahomes had more passing yards than Brady, less interception, and he played a fewer game. My thing is, Skip, if you look at Tom's defense, the Bucs defense ranked 6th in total defense. The Chiefs was 16th. The Bucs ranked #1 in run defense. They were 21st. The Chiefs were 21st. Bucs ranked 5th in takeaways. The Chiefs were 10th. Brady has the more dominant team, but Mahomes is the more dominant quarterback. So I disagree with this. And this is not a shot. Tom is phenomenal. But if you switch teams, The Bucs might not lose a game for the next 2 years. Can you say the same thing if you put Tom Brady on Kansas City with that defense? I didn't think so.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to answer. I was going to say yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, yes.
So I'm going to put Tom Brady behind that offensive line that he had in the Super Bowl. And what do you think Tom would do?
I think they've beefed it all up, right?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I know Brady, if they'd switched places in the Super Bowl, he would have won the game.
Man, you
I just believe.
Skip, you know good well Brady can't run.
There's one guy in all sports, in the history of sports, I don't bet against, and it's that guy, especially in a Super Bowl.
You saw what Brady did when he didn't have protection against the Rams. You saw against Chicago. You saw against New Orleans on that Sunday night.
Were those Super Bowls? No.
Skip, with the Giants.
I saw him with no protection against in the first Eli Giants game.
Yeah.
They were all over him. They beat the you-know-what out
And
of
what
him.
happened to Tom?
Well, he
lost.
drove him down and scored a touchdown with 2 minutes left to put them ahead 14-10. They should have won the game. Belichick's defense gave up a 75-yard drive to Eli Manning to win the game.
You mean to tell me Tom Brady could only score 14 points?
Well, it was enough.
That wasn't
Should have
enough.
been. Well, if you got the all-time defensive guru, Bill Belichick.
I thought you got the genius, the guy you never bet against.
Well, here's the point of this. And when I saw this last night, I laughed out loud thinking of you.
Yeah, I know you did.
This is exactly what I tried to explain. At a glance, there's nothing about Tom Brady that looks dominant. He does not speak dominantly. He does not act dominant. He does not come across as I'm a dominant football player. So obviously in a vacuum at a combine, he's not dominant. He's not a dominant athlete. He's not a dominant thrower of the football. But on a football field, under fire, in the biggest moments, on the biggest stages, he performs the best. And that makes him the most dominant in his position because there's just something about him when the lights are brightest. He just makes throws that win games.
He had the best team last year,
Okay.
Skip.
Well, he didn't for a while.
Yes.
He had to bring it to a boil, and he had a lot to do with that
Right.
because he recreated their culture. He brought the Patriot way to Tampa Bay. And right now, I read story after story. It looks like Bill Belichick has lost the Patriot way in New England because it was formulated. It was forged by Tom Brady. He was the one who created it.
It seems like a lot of players that were in that locker room are starting to take shots at Coach Belichick.
They're taking shots. So Tom Brady last year graded second best in the regular season to Patrick Mahomes. In the playoffs, he graded, I think it was third best, and Patrick Mahomes was first. But who won it all? Who had 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions through a 4-game winning streak to win the Super Bowl? Well, it was Brady. And I'm doing the reverse of what you're doing. I'm taking nothing away from Patrick Mahomes because he's great. He is a much better athlete. He has a much bigger arm than Tom Brady does. I just don't think he plays quarterback better than Tom Brady plays quarterback. And there's a whole lot that goes in there. It's reading. It's getting rid of the ball quick. It's what I never forget about Joey Bosa muttering because he was mic'd up for NFL Films in that playoff game, Chargers at New England. Remember, this is going back two years ago?
The divisional round.
Yeah, divisional round. And he's saying, gets rid of the ball so quick, you know.
Well, how dominant was he his last year in New England? Was he still that player? You see what happens when you don't have the talent?
I know, but he had no talent at receiver. And he kept, remember the day he was on the bench yelling, somebody separate. You know, he can read. He can speed read like nobody. 1, 2, 3. Covered. You know, and then just duck and cover, right?
But the thing is with Mahomes, Skip, think about how much pressure is on you when you know you don't have a suffocating defense. And the best way for us to play is that I need to get a 10 or 14-point lead, because if I don't, I've got to take the team out of being able to run the football. Because if I let this team be able to run the football, think about it. It shouldn't have been this close with the Carolina Panthers. It took a missed field goal for them to beat the Carolina Panthers because guess what? They was right there, nip and tuck. They could never get away. They could never get into separation, and so they could run. They could also throw. So just imagine what Mahomes has to go through. He knows every game, I got to get to 30, or we're probably not going to win this game because I don't have that suffocating defense that like Tampa or the Ravens or some of these other teams have, Rams. So this is what I need to do. Tom's like, Man, probably, you know, if I don't turn it over, give them a pick six or set them up, I'm good. Devin White and JPP and Shaq Barrett, they not finna let them do anything. Levante David, y'all not going anywhere.
What happened in the first quarter of the regular season game at Tampa?
Yeah.
Remember that? What did he throw for, like 259 in the first quarter?
That put immense pressure on Tom. So now he also threw a pick because he has to take unnecessary risk. Well, when I don't have to take risk, he didn't have to take any risk. Guy was running scot-free. Everybody was open. He was like, I think